GM. GM. Trade of the day. All right, so go back over to Bitcoin because that's really where the market's focus is. And I think that, first of all, it's a weekend, so not really much expectation of any decent trades or positions to take here. You can see some sort of a further squeeze up, but this is the 1 hour chart, right? The 1 hour chart, and we're only just testing the lower band. So it looks like, oh, we're bouncing up, maybe this is it. But even on the 1 hour trend, we're not even close to flipping that, right? So look over here. The 1 hour trend, by the time it went green, offered a good upwards rally. The 1 hour trend here, when the band's up green, offers the upwards move, and so on and so on. There's so much work it has to do, even on a 1 hour, just to flip back to bullish. Never mind the 4 hour, which is in an aggressive downtrend. The expectation here would be next time it touches the 4 hour bands, it rejects off them, which means you could rally to 62 or 63, but which again means probably we've gone down very fast and we're oversold on low time frames. But there's very little here in the way of short-term strength. It's only just trying to flip the 15-minute bands back to green and is currently struggling with that too. So I would expect that because Bitcoin and crypto in general is the only market open on the weekend, if Wall Street and those types are looking to de-risk, they can still sell their crypto on the weekend, any that they might have. And crypto is the most responsive to these moves. Like we saw this whenever there was the war fears back in 12th, 13th of April, when there was attacks, Israel and Iran. And you saw that really affect Bitcoin because it was open on Saturday. We saw a big Saturday down move. So I'm not going to trade today, pretty much guaranteed. I don't really see that much that's of interest. I don't see why there would be anything in terms of a big rally. Squeezing some late shorts out, sure. But I think that when it runs back into resistance here at this kind of 62k breakdown level, I think the market will find that resistance again. And I don't see any great risk reward. Like if the expectation would be that we probably reject these bands, so if it gets above them, it's probably going to initially reject them because the bands are so wide apart, and we have that 62.8 old point of control above. So then if you're getting long here, your invalidation has to go there, your target is maybe there, and there's just no positive risk reward, even on a 1 hour chart for that. So it's one of those times you just let the market do its thing. I've traded these areas enough to know that you just let it be. Because if it's going to go lower, you're going to see any bounce get sold into. And if it's going to go higher, you have to let it go higher and then come back and form some kind of a base. So, this value area low, again, certainly not a place to be bearish, right? As long as this holds, that's fine. But for me, that would mean a move up, a move back, it would hold, and it'd spend some time in here, and it actually holds and forms a proper higher low around that value area low, which will take us into next week. And whatever happens on the weekend is most likely not going to be a sudden shift. Unless someone comes out, Fed or Treasury, on the weekend and says, don't worry, we're going to pump loads of money in, which they're not going to do. Nothing is going to change today that will make the market suddenly forget about the potential of recession and de-risking. So I don't see anything really that's that interesting to me in terms of trades here right now. This phase of the market is not really about trading price action, because if it's one of these scenarios where it's kind of just de-risk and sell at all costs, then it's the highest probability for these setups to get invalidated, is the simple way of looking at it. So are we going to see a big massive pump? Maybe. Anything could happen. But I would expect that once it runs to any resistance above, it's probably going to roll over. I think if Bitcoin squeezes up to here, that's probably where it finds resistance again and comes back down. And so obviously it might not even do that. It might just go up here, fall back down. It's not an area I want to get long. It's not an area I want to get short because there is, at least for now, this support below should be strong. So for me, it's just an area to wait and watch, see what happens. And trades will develop, but taking them on a Saturday with all this going on, it's not something that I would be doing. So I'm just going to wait, watch, see what happens next. And that's it. GM. See you all later.